The salt spray always tasted like secrets in our town, but that morning, the taste was different, older and colder. Overnight, where there had once been only jagged, empty rock, a lighthouse now stood. It wasn't just built. It felt like it had grown from the cliffside itself, a bone-white spire piercing a sky the color of a fresh bruise. No one saw it being constructed, no ship brought materials, and no sound announced its arrival. It was simply there, a silent, impossible sentinel watching over the coastline. The townsfolk whispered, pulling their collars tight against a wind that had turned unnaturally sharp. They were used to the sea's moods, but this was something else entirely. This was a violation. The world seemed to hold its breath around the structure. A fog, thicker and more suffocating than any I'd ever known, rolled in from the sea, clinging to the land like a shroud. It didn't just obscure the view, it muffled sound, swallowing the familiar cries of gulls and the distant hum of the town until all that remained was the unnerving crash of waves. The rhythm was all wrong. Instead of the steady, soothing beat of the tide, the water slammed against the cliffs with a frantic, desperate energy, as if trying to reclaim the space the lighthouse had stolen. And then there was the light. It didn't sweep or scan. It pulsed, a slow, rhythmic throb of pale, sickly green light, beating like a colossal, captive heart. It felt ancient, alive, and utterly alien. I couldn't stay away. While others drew their curtains and spoke in hushed tones of old curses, something in me stirred. My name is Alara, and the coast is my lifeblood. I've spent my 17 years exploring every cove, memorizing the shapes of the cliffs, and collecting the local legends like seashells. My grandmother used to tell me tales of the sea swallowing people whole, of strange lights luring sailors to their doom near these very cliffs. The town, small and quiet, was built on a bedrock of such stories, a place where the veil between worlds felt thin. The appearance of the lighthouse didn't just feel like a mystery. It felt like a summons, a personal invitation whispered on the wind just for me. The fear was there, a cold knot in my stomach, but the curiosity was a raging fire that burned hotter. I had to know. As I approached the cliffs, the fog played tricks on my eyes, its dense, swirling mass in a constant state of flux. One moment, the lighthouse was there, stark and solid against the churning gray. The next, it would vanish completely, as if it had never been, leaving only the empty cliff and the roaring sea. My heart hammered against my ribs with each flicker. Was I imagining it? The closer I got, the more the world seemed to warp. The air grew heavy, charged with an energy that made the hairs on my arms stand on end. And the sounds, they started subtly, a low hum that vibrated through the soles of my boots. Then came the whispers, indistinct but persistent, like voices carried from a great distance, twisting through the fog and seeming to come from all directions at once. The atmosphere was thick with a primal dread, an eerie sense that I was trespassing on hallowed, or perhaps unhallowed, ground. Reaching the base of the tower, I found a heavy, salt-encrusted wooden door. It looked ancient, as if it had weathered 1,000 years of storms. Yet it had not been there yesterday. I hesitated, my hand hovering over the cold iron ring that served as a handle. As my fingers brushed against it, a low, groaning creak echoed from within, and the door swung inward on its own, opening into a darkness that seemed to drink the pale light of the day. Stepping inside was like crossing a threshold into another reality. The interior defied all logic. A single, spiraling staircase, carved from the same pale stone as the exterior, ascended into an impossible height, its end lost in shadow. The air was still and cold, yet shadows danced in my peripheral vision, twisting and contorting as if they had a life of their own. They slid along the curved walls, lengthening and shrinking with no discernible light source to cast them. As I began my ascent, my hand trailing along the cool, damp stone, I noticed them. Glowing symbols were etched into the walls, patterns I had never seen before. They pulsed with the same soft, green light as the lantern above, a faint, ethereal glow that illuminated the spiraling path. The light was surreal, casting long, distorted shadows that seemed to whisper and move just out of sight. A strange, sharp smell filled the air, the clean, electric scent of ozone mixed with the deep, briny tang of the sea. It was the smell of a storm, but a storm of magic, not of nature. Each step upward felt heavier, as if the air itself was pressing down. Yet the climb was strangely effortless, the stairs seeming to pull me higher into the heart of the mystery. When I finally reached the top, I found not a lamp room, but an archway of shimmering, liquid light. The pulsating green glow emanated from this opening, a doorway that looked out not onto the sea I knew, but onto something else entirely. The lighthouse wasn't just a beacon, it was a bridge, a portal between worlds. I stepped through, and the air changed instantly. The oppressive dampness was gone, replaced by a warm, fragrant breeze. I stood on a coastline of impossible beauty, where the sand glittered like crushed diamonds and the water glowed with a soft, internal luminescence. The sky was a tapestry of unfamiliar constellations, twin moons hanging in a violet twilight. In the distance, silhouetted against the glowing horizon, I glimpsed the shapes of mysterious creatures, graceful and strange, moving through the luminous waves. The scene was breathtaking, a panorama of dreamlike wonder that overwhelmed my senses. The awe was so profound it bordered on terror. The whispers I'd heard outside were clearer here, not words, but a symphony of feelings and images that flooded my mind. A sense of immense age, of cosmic journeys, of loneliness and waiting. I felt the history of this place, the countless suns it had seen rise and set, the infinite shores it had touched. This lighthouse was a traveler, a collector of worlds, and its appearance on my coast was no accident. It was an arrival, an offering. I wasn't just an intruder, I was a visitor, perhaps even an invited one. Standing on that alien shore, a profound shift occurred within me. The girl who had scrambled up the cliffs, driven by a simple, adventurous curiosity, was gone. In her place stood someone who had seen the impossible made real, who had touched the fabric of another dimension. I realized the lighthouse wasn't just a structure. It was a nexus of secrets and immense power. The legends of my town, the stories of disappearances and strange lights, suddenly snapped into focus. They weren't just stories. They were echoes, faint traces of this lighthouse's previous visits, scattered across centuries. A new sense of purpose, a strange and exhilarating destiny, began to dawn in my heart. This was bigger than a simple adventure. It was a calling. I was faced with a choice that felt as vast as the cosmos swirling above me. I could turn back, step through the shimmering portal, and return to the familiar comfort of my small town, forever changed by a secret no one would ever believe. Or I could step forward, deeper into this new, glowing world, and embrace the unknown. I could explore its mysteries, meet its strange inhabitants, and learn the secrets this ancient traveler held. The path home was clear, a shimmering archway back to everything I had ever known. But the path forward was an entire universe of possibility. As I stood on the precipice of that decision, the lighthouse behind me pulsed again, stronger this time. The green light washed over me, and the silent, psychic call intensified. It wasn't a demand, but an invitation, a feeling of welcome, a promise of wonders yet to be seen. It was the hum of the universe offering a new song, and it was asking me if I wanted to learn the words. My heart pounded, not with fear, but with a wild, soaring hope. The choice hung in the balance, a single moment stretched into an eternity. Did I step forward into the light, or did I retreat into the fog of my old life? Would the people of my town wake to find the lighthouse gone, vanished as mysteriously as it appeared, leaving only one more story of a girl who disappeared by the cliffs? Or would they find the spire still standing, a permanent fixture on their coast, its light now dark, its purpose fulfilled, its visitor having accepted the invitation to journey beyond the horizon? The waves of the glowing sea lapped at my feet, and I looked toward the violet sky, leaving everything and everyone to wonder.